Hello and welcome back to Alice Talks Football, and Leicester versus Manchester United is this Sunday. It's the biggest game of the season for Manchester United, the most important game of the season. All we need to do is not lose and we will get Champions League football next season. Leicester have been on poor form. We've been in good form, but we've dropped off lately. But Leicester versus Manchester United is the most important, biggest game of the season, and it's going to be an exciting game, but I'm also very nervous. So this is my match preview for Manchester United versus Leicester, the Champions League decider, final game of the season. Who would have thought it'd come down to that? You've also got Chelsea Wolves, where we'll be rooting for Wolverhampton Wanderers. So this is my 5 things to expect series, where I talk about 5 things I expect to see in the game, from predicted lineup to my predicted scoreline, things that we could exploit, what are Leicester's weak points, things we need to watch out for, things I expect to see, and more. So please hit that like button, subscribe down below, share this video, and let's get into it. If you want Manchester United to get top 4, hit that like button. Right, so my predicted lineup. Now, obviously, we've been playing games every 2 to 3 days at the moment, and we know that we need to rest a few players. But we know once we take a few players out of the squad, there's a drop-off. So it's like, can we afford to rest a few players? This is our most important game of the season. It's like, you know, we know some of our players need a rest, but we know there's a drop-off if we don't play them. So it's a really tough decision, I think, for Solskjaer and stuff. But this is my predicted lineup. Now, it's pretty much the lineup we've been going with for ages. The only difference is there's no Luke Shaw. I mean, hopefully Luke Shaw will be back fit, because I think we've learnt how much of an important player he is. But I've gone with Timothy Fosu-Mensah to play left back. The reason I've chose Timothy Fosu-Mensah over Brandon Williams is because I think defensively Timothy Fosu-Mensah is a lot better than Brandon Williams. I think going forward, Williams is better than Fosu-Mensah. I think Williams looks okay going forward, but he looked a mess defensively against Jarrett Bowen. Whereas Timothy Fosu-Mensah, going forward, he doesn't really offer anything, but defensively, he's solid. And all Manchester United need to do is not lose. You know, we need to draw. So if we go 1-0 up, we know that defensively, they're not going to push us too much because Timothy Fosu-Mensah can defend. So that is my predicted lineup. Ideally, I'd like to see Luke Shaw, but it's a lineup we've been going with for ages, and Timothy Fosu-Mensah will be at left back. Second thing I expect is Manchester United to play to draw, which I want us to play to win, but I feel like Gunnar Solskjaer is, you just must not lose. And I actually felt versus West Ham we were playing to draw, because we knew we just needed 2 draws. Which, you know, makes me a bit worried, because I always want to win. You know, if we win, we get third, we finish above Chelsea. But this is such a big game, and I think with Manchester United this season, under pressure, we've not looked our best. When Chelsea drop points, we can't capitalise on it. That's been our biggest problem. And I think Gunnar Solskjaer, you know, once he got that permanent contract, he went all defensive and stuff. He went all defensive versus Chelsea. My only problem with Gunnar Solskjaer is I love this free-flowing attacking football he's been playing, but as soon as there's pressure on him, is he going to just play really defensive, boring football, playing not to lose, rather than playing to win? And I want Manchester United to play to win, but all we've got to do is not lose. And United, we crumble under pressure, we let the nerves get to us, but I want to win so we don't have to rely on Wolves beating Chelsea. Obviously, you know, we could lose and Wolves beat Chelsea and we'll get top 4, but like, we want to get top 4 because we got it. The other thing is, Leicester have a 1-week rest advantage over us. We've played 2 whole games since Leicester's last game, but again, Leicester is on poor form, losing 3-0 to Spurs. But then again, we're not on our best form. We didn't look particularly good for the first 20 minutes versus Villa. We looked pretty poor against Southampton, pretty poor against Crystal Palace, awful versus Chelsea, awful versus West Ham. But like, we haven't actually lost a game in the Premier League, while Leicester, they've dropped like 20 points from like their last like 10 games, which is pretty awful. Like, I have to find the stat, but like, Leicester have been one of the most out of form teams in the league, and that's the reason we've catched them. But I do worry with the nerves getting to Manchester United. You know, they have that rest advantage, we look tired. You know, Leicester, this is all they've got to play for. I mean, at least we have the Europa League. I am very nervous going into the game. I know Leicester have a rest advantage, but to be honest, we're the more on-form team. And I am really worried to see how Solskjaer sets up, but I just hope that Manchester United can nick a goal early. Which brings me on to my 4th point. Getting the first goal is so important. We know that all we have to do is not lose. So if we get the first goal, Leicester have to score 2. And I think defensively we've been pretty solid this season, other than the odd game. You know, if we go 1-2-0 in at half-time, it's our game to lose. It's a game that we should not lose. I think, other than the Sheffield United game, we've never conceded more than 2 goals in a Premier League game. And I think, you know, if we can get an early goal, if we can go 1-0 up, it means Leicester have to attack us, we can counter-attack them. And I think, for me, the first goal is going to be so important in this game. And I think Manchester United know that because once we score 1, they have to get 2. it's almost like defending a 2-goal lead. When you're 1-0 up, we're almost like 2-0 up. When we're 2-0 up, we're almost like 3-0 up. So I think getting first half goal, even 2 first half goals, if we went 2-0 up, I'd be very comfortable. So we need to start quick. I felt like our last few games we started quite slowly. The Villa game, the Southampton game, the Crystal Palace game, we didn't get going. Leicester might press us. We need to get the ball moving quickly. We need to take less touches, and we need to get a goal in the first 20 minutes. We need to take the lead, because I think if we take the lead, it makes it very hard for Leicester. But if Leicester take the lead, we could crumble under pressure. And Leicester have that fitness advantage over us. The fifth and final thing I expect to see is to exploit width. Leicester have a lot of injuries, especially to their fullbacks in Ricardo Pereira and Chilwell. I don't think they'll be back. Soyuncu's suspended. At the back, Leicester are a lot weaker than normal. And going forward, our front five is the most informed front five in the world right now. So we've got to exploit that. Poor Leicester defence. Most of the players are injured. Good attack. We need to get the ball moving quickly from defence to attack, because we will be able to score lots of goals. That's so important that we need to get the ball moving, and I think Gunnar Solskjaer needs to tell the players that. The wingers are going to be really important. They're using their second choice fullbacks. If Marcus Rashford can get wide, if Marcus Rashford's on his game, Mason Greenwood is going to be so important, because Leicester have worse injury problems than us. Yes, they have rest, but our front five is on form. Realistically, their back four, they're missing like 3 of their best players from it. So we need to get the ball moving quickly, attack them, because we can exploit that weak point. So that's my match preview, 5 things to expect versus Leicester City. Let me know what you expect to see down below in the comments section, and I'll see you next time. Like, subscribe, share. Thanks for watching.